Assalamualaikum and good day. Hi there, I'm Diana. Today we meet again for WE013 writing, and our focus today is on paraphrasing. Are you ready? Now this is our objective for today. By the end of this lesson, you should be able to paraphrase. Now before I show you the techniques in paraphrasing, let's have some warm-up activities first. Now you can pause this slide or this video and then go to this URL address which I already put in the description. There are only 3 questions on paraphrasing. Try and answer it for a while, yeah? Good luck! Did you manage to score 3 out of 3? Congratulations! Those who didn't, don't fret. Well, it's just a warm-up activity. I'm sure you get better after you learn all the techniques after this. Shall we begin? What I'm going to show you in this video is techniques for paraphrasing. There are 4. However, I would like to remind you that these techniques should only be used once you have ensured you fully understood the text. Do not try to paraphrase a text you have not understood. Now this is very important because if you don't understand, you can't paraphrase accurately. Remember, when you paraphrase, you have to make sure that the meaning is intact, meaning that the meaning has not been altered or changed. Let's look at the first technique, which is using synonyms, words that mean the same. Now let's look at the table. The source text says the need for investors to earn a commercial return may put upward pressure on prices. Now the paraphrase is shorter. The need for profit is likely to push up prices. Now here, may is replaced with is likely to, and put upward pressure on is replaced with push up. However, be careful when you're using synonyms. Many words have several meanings depending on context, and you have to think about the synonym which expresses the right meaning for the particular context. The second technique is changing the form of words. Let's look at the table. The source text is privatization has failed on several counts, and the paraphrase is Baylis and McKinley 2007 point out that the failure of privatization is due to many factors. So in the first paraphrase, a verb has failed has been replaced with a noun from the same word family. So the noun in the paraphrase is the failure, so you change the verb to a noun. And in the second paraphrase, if you look at the source text, the region Sub-Saharan Africa is widely perceived as risky by investors. Now look at the paraphrase. Investment in the region is considered a significant risk. Baylis 2003. So in the second paraphrase, an adjective has been replaced by a noun. The third technique is changing the grammatical structure. Now if you look at the source text, while many governments have taken steps to implement privatization programs, progress has been slower than was anticipated in the early 1980s. And the paraphrase is, according to Baylis 2003, although the implementation of privatization programs has been a priority for many governments, progress in the area has not been as rapid as expected in the early 1980s. So here, one grammatical structure for making a comparison, which is slower than, has been replaced with another, not as rapid as. Now, when you paraphrase, it doesn't mean that it has to be shorter, as long as the meaning is accurate. Now, the fourth technique is using several techniques altogether. Now, let's look at the source text. The privatization of such strategic industries has raised a number of concerns. Firstly, these enterprises are usually monopolistic and, in the absence of competition, require effective regulation if private ownership is to be beneficial for the wider economy. If you look at the paraphrase, due to the vital role they play in a country's infrastructure, it is essential for the operation of privatized water utilities to be regulated effectively. This is because they usually have a monopoly, and without competition, there is no incentive to keep tariffs low or provide a high standard of service. Bailey's 2003. Now, in this final example, you will notice that the order in which information is presented is different in the paraphrase. For example, different word forms in the same word family have been used. If you look at the example, effective regulation is in the source text, and then we change that to regulated effectively. And if you look at synonyms also have been used in the paraphrase. For example, in the source text it says in the absence of competition, you change that to without competition. And please note that successful paraphrasing requires the use of multiple techniques each time. It is not sufficient to simply replace the keywords with synonyms, and in fact, this is a common mistake among students learning to paraphrase. Changing the structure of the sentence is also important to fit the sentence into your paragraph effectively. So please remember that, yeah? Let's recap what we have learned today. By the end of the lesson, you should be able to paraphrase. I hope by now you have learned all the techniques in paraphrasing. There are 4, and if you can't recall them, then you know that you are able to paraphrase after this. Let's recap our objective. By the end of the lesson, you should be able to paraphrase. You have learned 1. Using synonyms. Secondly, changing the form of words. Thirdly, changing the grammatical structure. And fourthly, using several techniques altogether. So now we are going to apply all these techniques in 2 activities later on. Hope you are ready and hope you will be able to apply all these techniques. These are your exercises. Exercise 1 will be in Google Classroom, and it is going to be from quizzes. And for exercise 2, your lecturer will give you a Google form to complete. The link will be given later by your lecturer. Good luck! Well, that's all for today. I hope you learned something. And stay safe here. Thank you.